on the road today. Hopefully the audio and video is decent. It might not be as good as it usually is, but today I'm going to keep this topic relevant, short and sweet. We're going to talk about how to stay accountable to yourself during the holiday season. So fall is upon us. If you're watching this in the fall time, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, we've got probably birthdays coming up, but this is holiday season for many, and others celebrate different holidays too. So for us, Christmas is a big one. It's pretty much half of our gift spending for the year, for good reasons. But what I want to share, I want to revisit the topic of sinking funds and share some practical ways that you can stay accountable to yourself during the holiday season, so you can actually find more joy in giving, and that you don't come out of it feeling overwhelmed and having buyer's remorse. Because if you're like me, the trouble I always ran into is I'd be out shopping, I'd have a plan in mind, I'd be out shopping, and I see all these options, pretty affordable options, but they add up quickly when you're like, oh, let me just add one more thing to that person's gift, and it snowballs. And then before I knew it, I was way overspent, and I actually had a lot of anxiety and stress about what I had just done. So instead of finding joy in the gift giving season, I found more stress. So I'm going to revisit that topic of sinking funds that I brought up before. Two spending categories that I highly recommend trying this out with. And a sinking fund is just a separate place where you're saving for certain known spending. Food is one of those, and gas and transportation is another one. We also, in our household, we do a personal account, but we just literally open up a separate checking account at the bank for that kind of spending. So it helps us stay accountable. I'm going to give you two ways that you can do this. One is, yes, you can go to the bank. You can open up a checking account. Banks now just give you a lot more opportunities to open up multiple accounts. You can designate a specific checking account. You can get 2 debit cards if you're married and you're in the same household spending out of the same account. You can designate that account for a certain kind of spending. So real time, you open up your app, you see what's in there, and you can stay accountable, because when that balance goes down to zero, you can't spend anymore. So Christmas holiday spending and birthday spending is another great way to do that. You can do it 2 ways. You can put money in a checking account, set it aside, or you can have a savings account where you have that balance in there, and as you spend, you just transfer money in. You can do it whatever way suits your personality best. For example, what we do is we have a separate Christmas and birthday savings account, and if we go out and we buy something for somebody's birthday, we swipe it in our bill pay, because there's always usually a little excess. Then we instantly transfer that spending over. When it comes to the holiday season, sometimes you're out spending, doing a lot of transactions over a weekend or over a course of time. You can figure out what works best for you to track it, but designate that money so that you can visually see that balance going down. So it's not just this big giant pot of blended finances with your bill pay, your daily living, and all that stuff. So again, just to reiterate, birthday and holiday sinking fund is just going into this next year. Even if you haven't done that yet, start planning ahead. Figure out what you want to spend. Split that by 12 months or even 11 months so that you have the money ahead of time come December if it's a Christmas spending budget. And then you're saving slowly, and it's not this big hit. But even right now for this season, going into it, if you already have a plan, just put that money aside so that you can visually see the balance going down and you can track it more easily. That's a way that my husband and I try to stay on track. We're not perfect at it, because we get out there too, and it's like, $5-10 here and there added to a gift. We absorb that in the excess that sometimes we have in our bill pay, because you don't have always the exact amount. Especially us, we get paid weekly, and my husband gets paid hourly, so that varies. And whenever we have a little bit of excess, we know a certain amount of cushion that we have in our bill pay. So if we go over $5 or $10, it doesn't break the bank. But generally speaking, we really try to stick to our spending, and it's hard because we like giving gifts. So we're motivated though, because we know that if we completely go off the rails, that it'll impact our ability to save for other important things. So that's how we hold ourselves accountable. Easy stuff, but it takes time to do it. Go down to the bank, open the account. If it's a joint account, you and the other person have to sign for it. But the bank will try to make it easy for you. So check that out. Think about that. Try it out. Small steps, and then you pivot, you readjust, you reiterate, and you perfect a plan and a process that works for you, because it will be different for everybody. But anyway, just wanted to share my 2 cents on that, because we're thinking about that stuff right now. We also have a picture of our budget. Another pro tip, I have it in an Excel spreadsheet. We take a picture of the Christmas and birthday budgets by person, so we have it in our phone. So we're like, oh, what's the budget for this person's birthday, or what's each person's Christmas budget? We don't have to guess and then figure out we were wrong in hindsight. We literally just pull up that picture, save it in an album, we save it on our notes app, and as we're going, our finances come with us, and it makes it easier for us to manage it on the go. So anyway, hope you guys find that inspirational. Please put it in the chat if you've tried something like that, or if you're working through something like that. Give us some feedback on what works for you, because I like hearing what works for other people. We're all creative, and it's fun to get creative with how you stick to your financial plan, your cash flow plan. All right, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next week.